Hey, kind of crashing a little bit from that carb fest that I just witnessed and lived and experienced. Um, Mashed potatoes, the stuffing and dressing, because you want both. You have to have both. Cover that shit with gravy, some succotash. Man, love me some succotash. And then that jellied cranberries when you slice it up out of the can. Ooh, lordy, lordy. Had a little bit of turkey and ham because I can have turkey and ham any day of the week, but you can only have mashed potatoes every so often. And then Cindy did this thing where she took the leftover stuffing, dressing, I think there might have been mashed potatoes, some turkey, succotash, gravy, and she put it in this casserole dish and left that for us on Friday when they went shopping. And wow, I'm still in a little bit of pain, to be honest with you. But hey, like the trooper that I am, I'm here for you, my viewing public, to take you through week 12 of your fantasy football season here at RaFFLe. Back home in the home front, as you can probably not really tell, but I am, trust me. Arrived late yesterday and had a fabulous time in South Crackalacky with the Crackalackians. And looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to Monday. Let me be honest, I can't even lie about that shit. What I thought I'd do today, rather than concentrate on that, I'm trying to make today just go as slow as possible. What I thought I'd do today is maybe take you guys through what needs to happen for your brethren here to get into the playoffs. We've got 2 weeks left. And I'll be honest with you, there's only a couple of teams that don't really give a shit about the rest of the season, but then the rest of us are really kind of interested in what happens. This week is a huge week, but I don't want to jump ahead. Let me just step you through each division and what we got on the docket. First up, the tight ends. The tight ends are the only team in the league right now that are officially in the playoffs. The only question is, are they going to be the division champ or are they going to be a runner-up? A win this week or next, a Llamas lost this week or next, and they're the conference champ. Should they lose both and the Llamas win both, ta-da, your Llamas are the conference champs, and the tight ends will go in at the runner-up spot. So it's just a question of how much money they're taking and whether or not they get a bye that first week. The Llamas, as I mentioned, can still win the division, however slim those chances are. The funny thing is that they aren't guaranteed a spot. In fact, what they need is a win one of these next 2 weeks or a Squirrels loss this week or next week. Go classified. If any of those things happen, then that guarantees the Llamas at least the second slot. Otherwise, then it's down to that crapshoot on points scored, which they're not in the greatest spot for points scored. That falls to the Young Studs. The Young Studs are in a great shot. They're not officially in the playoffs, however, they're in really good shape on points. Assuming that they don't completely step on their dick here, they should get into the playoffs on points scored, which doesn't bode well for your Llamas. So anyway, Studs can't get on record. They need to get on points. So you look at the Squirrels. Squirrels don't have a shot on points. They need to win. They need to win both these games, and then they got to hope for the Llamas to lose both these games. That's the way they get in. They would get in the second slot and kick the Llamas out, which nobody wants to happen. That brings us the other two wannabes, or also Rans in the division, Spankos and Classified. Spankos in a little bit, clearly in a better shape than Classified, but in both cases, both these teams need to score a truckload of points. The only way they're going to get in is by scoring record-setting points over these next couple of weeks and hoping for some lack of scoring from the other teams in their division. So that's the Wales division in a nutshell. Let's move over to the Campbell, shall we? Campbell Conference. The Campbell Conference is completely up for grabs. Rolling Thunder, not in the playoffs, have a huge game this week with Red Eye Blind, who they're currently tied with. The winner of this game clearly is going to be in the driver's seat for the conference championship. Not guaranteed, but clearly in the driver's seat. The goodness for the Thunder is that that if they win, they're still not even guaranteed a slot, but they're in better shape. Plus, they have the most points scored out of the group of teams that are vying for the playoffs there. So, if they somehow were to lose a couple of games here, the points will probably still keep them kind of in the playoffs. So, look for the Thunder to make the playoffs, but officially not yet. Red Eye Blind, similar kind of story, right? Not in the playoffs today. Huge game this week against Rolling Thunder. That's going to set the stage for who wins the division. pretty good shape on points. They trail only the Thunder. So you got to figure that if they lose this game and were to lose again next week, that backdooring in on points is likelihood, if not getting the second slot or conference championship should they win. So those two guys seem to be pretty good shape to get into the playoffs. Then you get into those other teams, right? Steel Curtain, currently not in the playoffs, but miraculously could win the division. With a couple of wins and a couple of losses from the guys in front of them, they are in the shakiest of grounds, though, when it comes to points. They're in 5th out of 6 teams for points scored this year, so they have to get in on record. They need to just win, baby, and then a little help on top of that. So they shouldn't be booking in hotels just yet for their playoff trip. Shake Your Groove Thing can't get in on record, but they're in great shape when it comes to points. Assuming that the top 2 point-scoring teams get in the playoffs in Red Eye Blind and Rolling Thunder, assuming they go in at 1-2, Shake Your Groove Thing's in the driver's seat for that wild card slot. Should Steel Curtain insert themselves and push the Rolling Thunder or the Red Eye Blind down, then Shake Your Groove Thing is going to need to outscore them over the next couple of weeks. Again, completely possible, but I think we'll know much more next week and get a feel for that. Big W's. Similar thing to Shake Your Groove Thing. They do trail Shake Your Groove Thing. They would need obviously they need to outscore Shake Your Groove Thing, and they need the same things to happen. They need the Steel Curtain to stay the fuck out of the 1 or 2 slot and keep Thunder and Red Eye Blind up in 1 or 2. Lastly, Hot Attack. You can kind of see what I said about Classified earlier. They need a Herculean amount of points scored to get in at this point. I think at this point they are looking to the future in any way, shape, or form they can. There you have it. Again, next week will give us a much better shot. We'll be able to do some black and white. This is what has to happen. Wales seems to be, Wales, we might be able to tell you what's going to happen in the Wales next week. Campbell we're going to need to play out the string here. In all cases, these guys, there are no bye weeks coming up for these guys. They got to play each and every game. These are playoff games. They've started the playoffs already. There you have it, guys. Have a great week. Enjoy going back to that place that we go to on Monday. And God bless you. God bless America.